can't do my hair and gel by myself.
You can't.
And I can't pick out my clothes by myself. My sister could do that. Trying to control my anger. She's such a stupid moron. Her rules to go at my... and go in the garbage. Okay, sorry for your language.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today, that's right, we have another wife swap episode. Yo, if you enjoy me covering and reacting to what will hopefully be the entire wife swap series, I love this show so far, make sure you drop a like and a comment letting me know so. But today's families are, once again, quite opposite. Shocker, I know, but I will say the biggest shocker of today's episode is, I would say both families are honestly pretty wholesome and pretty cool. There is nobody I just absolutely hate in this show. But we're going to be focusing on mainly one of the family's sons, who is just the embodiment of every annoying squeaker that you play against in any first-person shooter game. He's the type in GTA to be flying around with an Oppressor Mark II, blowing all your stuff up. Literally, this kid is such a brat, but it's in the funniest of ways. So without any further ado, let's just give you the rundown of the two families. So the Stallone family, they're kind of classic. The mom just cleans all day. She's a neat freak. The kids survive off of a diet of pretty much chicken nuggets and chicken cutlets and whatever type of crazy, nice dinner the mom is making. I'm pretty sure they're Italian, so I'm sure there's some crazy, Sunday dinners and all that. They watch a ton of TV all day. And then on the other side, you have the Ghani family, who is a new age spiritual family that does not own any TVs. The father's an artist. The wife, I don't even know if she has a job, but their house is not very clean. And we're going to get to the layers of how kind of crazy they are. This woman claims that her husband himself is the 700th incarnation of Buddha or something, that this is his 700th trip on the earth. And he himself claims he has ditched the concept of time. That is too boring for a person like him. He's not a mere mortal, so he just doesn't believe in time, so they're late for everything. So yeah, now that you know about the families, we're gonna show when the wives first show up to meet their new families. And I gotta say, this Stallone mother handles it very oddly. I have no idea what's up, but she sees pictures of them. The father is black, the children are half black, but she didn't know that at the time, and she thinks it's gonna be such a shock for them to see a white woman show up. Like, she's making a huge, weird, big deal about it.
That's my mom. That's how she looked like.
That is?
Yeah, that's my mom. Right here.
This is your mom?
Yeah.
And it's almost like this is relieving for her. Like, I'm not saying she's, outwardly racist or anything, but it's just so weird, her reaction to this. And she keeps going, too.
So your mom is white, like me.
And even the kid is confused on how to react to that. Like, yeah? Like, what does that matter? She's just, like, so relieved sounding for some reason. Oh, that's your mom? She's a whitey like me. Nice. Like, okay, bro.
Wow, so no wonder why you people
Got you right.
Oh my God.
Oh, what? Why did she just use that wording, bro? Okay, already off on a bad foot with the Stallone mother, but I think there's not going to be too much more of this. Hopefully, she gets over the shock of them not reacting to the fact that she's white very quickly, and we can move on with the show.
We just finished 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
how about you?
Great. Yeah, we're not married.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been together 11 years.
Oh, really?
And on the opposite end of the spectrum, the Ghani mother is blending in very well with the Stallone family so far. It seems like they're having a nice little lunch/dinner, getting to know each other. They're the more traditional family, obviously. The wife stays home and cooks and cleans. They've been married, the whole shebang. We see that family archetype a lot on this show. But then the other family, the Ghanis, they don't follow the traditional route. Like I said, they're over here thinking time doesn't exist and that this dude has existed 700 times. I also believe they think that they have been lovers in, multiple recent lives, which, may be true. I don't know. All right. I can't tap into that level of spirituality.
I'm thinking the worst. And I didn't know, I had 40 different pictures going through my mind, none of them pleasant. So I was shocked when I saw Elizabeth.
Dude, why is it such a good feeling to see the families actually like each other off a rip? Like, I know it's probably going to change at least slightly, but I have a very good feeling this is going to be a more wholesome version of this show than we have seen so far.
I'm just really happy. I think the family and I both told each other a million times a day, you're so cool. You're so cool.
So yeah, I mean, there's more proof. The first night, it seems like things are going swimmingly, if that's the word for it. But let's see how things change now that the mothers have to live each other's lives for this next week. I think there's really going to be an issue with the Stallone mother because the mother of the Ghani family says that she only sets a timer for 15 minutes to clean each day. Their house is pretty messy. They show shots of it. Also, I have to go back to this clip in the intro. Tell me why their kitchen is laid out like this. Like, this is only the kitchen layout of somebody who believes they've existed 700 times on this planet before. Who in their right freaking mind creates an island out of their oven? I'm sorry, I've never seen that. Maybe I just have not been experienced enough to experience different households and the way they're set up, but that seems very wrong and weird to me. So as expected, I'm sorry I have to giggle here because the faces this woman's making right now are hilarious, but this is the Stallone mother trying to sit through their morning meditation that the Ghani family does every morning. Of course, they are very spiritual and they take a lot of time out of their day to meditate rather than clean, which is probably her worst freaking nightmare. And then you won't believe this, dude. You know when I said that this Stallone mother does a lot for her kids? I think I said that earlier. She wakes them up for school, which is normal, but then also brings them breakfast in bed, caters to their every need, and this little kid, oh my god, I forget what his little name is, but he has his clothes and his outfits picked out by his mother every single day. She gels his hair, does his hair for him. I know he's kind of a young kid and maybe you're just holding on to that and the kid should probably grow up, but dude, that was like a decade ago. You should have been having this kid at least pick out his own clothes. Actually, maybe he's not even a decade old. I don't know. Am I going too hard on the kid? I just find that hilarious, dude. I bet this kid's gonna be a total brat too.
Is it freaking you out that you're touching the meat?
No, because you know what
you're
I
okay
did.
with that?
Well, you know what? The truth is, I'm like, I can't sit here and put yicky energy into this meat because Paulette makes it with love.
And dude, what the hell? This is so weird to be experiencing this show where not every single person or at least one person involved is super toxic. This lady is making a giant, again, I'm assuming Italian feast of just different various meats, and her household is vegetarian. That is one of the main differences between the two households. And even then, the father's checking in on her, making sure she's okay handling the meat because sometimes that might be just a lot for somebody who doesn't eat meat. And she's handling it like a G, saying, dude, I don't want to put yucky energy into this meat. You guys are supposed to, you know, enjoy it, and your wife makes it with love, so I'm gonna do the same. Absolute W human right there. I really like this lady, even though she might be a little bit off her rocker when it comes to some of this crazy stuff having to do with time not existing and all that.
But how will she deal with Grandma?
It's filthy. Everything is just thrown like garbage. I've never seen anything like this.
I was wrong. The toxicity starts. That's right. For some freaking reason, the Stallone mother, her own mother, the mother-in-law, comes over for a Sunday feast again, and she comes over and immediately throws the biggest hissy fit about the state of the kitchen, which was just cooked in. I saw how many dishes they were making, dude. This lady just slaved away in the kitchen. I don't care how bad it looks. Don't go peeking back there. Don't go worrying about it. I know you're a grandma and it's like part of the culture to be super anal about this stuff, but it's just so annoying that this lady is super toxic. I'm gonna show you some clips, don't worry. She is really taking this too far. When she's the one that's coming over as a guest for somebody's food that they just spent hours cooking.
The counters are a disaster. This place hasn't been vacuumed. My daughter vacuums every day. There's a dog here.
And mind you, this is their first time meeting. They know that this TV show is going on and that this lady is trying to just simply be over here and live this woman's lifestyle. I know she's probably supposed to be cleaning a little bit more, but it looks like she literally finished the food and then went upstairs to get all dressed up so that she could look nice and presentable for the first time meeting this mother-in-law, who again, I am just confused on why she's here in the first place. This lady is so toxic. She's screaming at this lady's face. I don't even think they've introduced each other on a first name basis yet, and she's already just moaning and whining about everything.
Paulette this and Paulette that and Paulette this and Paulette that. I don't know if she feels like I'm intruding on her daughter's space or what have you, but she's quite opinionated.
Yeah, she's quite opinionated and honestly just a sad person. And when you see later on in this episode, I've seen some in the intro of parts that I think I'm not going to include, the Stallone mother is super uptight about keeping her household clean, and it's almost like she's scared to make it not clean because I'm sure she lived under years of just torment, mental torment from this mother of hers who thinks the only value a woman can have is if she has her house spotless and clean.
And then scrubbing, like scrub.
Right.
That kind of scrub until they clean.
And this lady's handling it so well, honestly. I would have been throwing hands at this point. I'm not going to even lie. The way she's talking down to her as if she's a preschooler is just so freaking annoying, and it rubs me the wrong way. Anyways, let's get her off the screen because I have a feeling the rest of the episode's going to be pretty chill.
He never looks at the time. He doesn't wear a watch. He said time just doesn't matter to him because this drives me crazy. Lateness
And meanwhile, on the other side, the Stallone mother is really having a hard time with the loose nature of how the rest of the family in the Ghani household live. They really don't abide by time. They don't have to rush anywhere because they're both self-employed, I'm pretty sure, or work from home. Either way, they don't have to, go to a normal 9 to 5. They don't really have to follow a rigid schedule, and that drives this lady mad. Again, this is all stuff that's just the way that she likes to live her life, but a lot of it's been ingrained in her that this is the way things have to be. And now that she's facing somebody that lives differently, yes, their house is dirty, as always, with these, new age kind of hippie-ish families that they showcased on the show back in the day. But still, dude, they have a lot more fun and love in the way that they do things because they don't care as much about the fake things that we all seem to care about in society nowadays.
I have such a hard time in that bathroom, and that's why I have to go. I mean, I hold it in so bad sometimes.
And then she literally breaks down. I feel bad for laughing because this would really suck. But apparently she hasn't really been able to use the bathroom the entire time she's been here because it's just so dirty. And she's actually very rigidly following the 15-minute cleaning rule that the other lady had set. I think I mentioned that earlier. But the Ghani mother said that she only sets a timer for 15 minutes once a day. And anything she can't do then gets pushed over to the next day. So that's why this house is so dirty. So I applaud this woman for following the rules that strictly. But come on, I mean, you could probably clean the bathroom real quick while you're in there. Just, you know, act like you're maybe taking a while in there and nobody would know. It's not like they're gonna bring the cameras in there with you.
It's time to switch rules. From this point on, I'm on my own new house cleaning schedule.
So that's right, it's time for the next week, which is the switch where the new mothers get to make the rules for the household. And basically, this leads to a massive breakdown because both the mothers are changing things quite drastically. The Stallone mother is choosing to have the family help out with cleaning much more. They're going to be following a rigid cleaning schedule, which is not very fun, but honestly, the way these people raise their kids and the father himself, they're very chill about it. They're the least confrontational people I've seen for the rule changes so far. Can't quite say the same for the Stallone family, who has two very emotional and coddled children, which we're about to see right now, as they're told they have to not only eat chicken nuggets and watch TV all week, they actually can't watch any TV and will be following a vegetarian diet.
Mike Jr. will dress himself and do his hair gel.
I can't do my hair and gel by myself.
You can't.
And I can't pick out my clothes by myself. My sister could do that.
So, dude, this little brat, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep calling him that. Like, I'm not talking down to this kid. I realize he's young and immature, but it is so hilarious. Just this little pudgy kid who I literally just imagine to be every annoying kid you play with in any multiplayer game. Like, if you're ever getting trash talked in a COD lobby, this is who's on the other end, all right? He has a meltdown because he can't pick out his own clothes and comb his own hair. At least let my sissy do that, please. My mom at least does it. I don't know what to wear. Like, if that's the main thing you're worried about, bro, oh my God, she's really going easy on this family then.
Vegetarian meals for everybody.
I can't just eat vegetables. I'm not the vegetable eater. I'm the picky eater.
Okay.
So can we make my stuff?
And then he tries to get out of the vegetarian thing just because he can say, oh, my mommy says I'm the picky eater, so that means that you have to abide to my rules. It's like, no, that just means your mom's bad at disciplining you and just allowed you to get into this funk where you eat nothing but Tyson chicken nuggets all day, which clearly is doing nothing for your physique, buddy. Trust me, you want to get that stuff figured out early in your life, or you might just end up tubby as an adult like me. It's no fun.
I have vegetarian chicken nuggets.
Miserable. I'm just
Wait,
saying
my
that I
turn.
don't think it's
Hold on.
completely fair.
You tried our rules. They were easy.
So then all of this just becomes too much for the daughter, who, you know, is a teenage girl. They're very anti, you know, being told what to do. At least that's the idea that people have of people that age. I really think that's what this comes down to. Nothing this lady is asking is too tough. I guess the change of diet might be a little bit scary if you don't enjoy vegetarian options. Like for me, that would be a little bit of a shock because I do eat a lot of meat throughout the week. But still, she doesn't need to be crying. This leads to a total storm off freak out from the kid. It's nothing too bad, but I just found it to be hilarious that she was getting so emotional over these slight lifestyle changes, which are way less than what we've seen earlier in the season.
Didn't go over to Swift now, did it?
I can feel the love.
Okay, yeah, you lost a couple friends.
And then they go hide in her room and they're holding each other's hands. It literally, you'd think that they're on a sinking ship about to just like literally get lost in the ocean, and they're sitting there trying to figure out what they're saying to each other for the last words. It's so dramatic.
I promise.
You're not gonna be home. I have to pick out my own stinking clothes.
I will. I don't care. You're not gonna go to school looking like an idiot. I promise you that.
Again, this is about this kid having to pick out his own clothes for school, and she's literally gripping his wrists as he's bawling his eyes out like, I'm not gonna let you look like an idiot going to school. Don't worry, all right? None of those kids are gonna make fun of your outfit. I'll help pick out your clothes and I'll comb your hair and put the gel in it. Like, so freaking dramatic, dude. It's ridiculous, but I'm loving it. This kid is a character.
Actually, I kept reading my list going, God, this is really no big deal.
Trying to control my anger. She's such a stupid moron.
That cut was perfect. That was some really good editing, and I love just the idea of this kid setting up his own camera. I'm assuming that's what they did, is they gave them some cameras to film their thoughts on, because this shot is so out of focus. But his little anger is just so funny. I feel for this kid. This has got to really suck. It's not like he signed up for this. His parents are the ones that wanted to do this show, but still, dude, you got to roll with the punches, all right? Eat some freaking broccoli. It'll be good for you. So the next morning, things are still kind of rough. The Stallone mother is really needing to just bark orders at everybody because she's controlling. She's a miniature version of her mother, which we can see in full force in this clip. You can't hear it, but you know, she's just yelling at everybody. And then they're doing some meditation over in the Stallone household, which is different for them, but it seems like they're going with it a little bit better than the mother did with the family back here. She was giving him the stank face earlier, if you remember. But now it's time to face off once again as this kid in the Stallone family is just choosing to go on a hunger strike, all right? He doesn't think these changes are just. They're not fair. They're not thinking of how he feels emotionally, so therefore he's just not going to eat.
Chicken nuggets that aren't chicken. Do you want to just try them?
Nah, it's okay.
Want an apple? They're cool.
No, it's okay.
You want a pear?
Nah, it's okay.
You want to try some chocolate soy milk?
Nah, it's okay.
I swear he's an NPC, dude. He's just saying the same line over and over. Nah, it's okay. Nah, it's okay. Dude, eat something, bro. She's offering so many different things that he might like, but just because he's a stubborn kid and they're not Tyson chicken nuggets, he's saying no to everything.
Well, I'm gonna make them anyway.
She is not being nice to me. She's giving me an attitude. Is that a monster? Her rules never said that she gets to pick up everything I do.
And his little mini vlogs throughout this are just absolute gold, dude. He thinks she's showing attitude. I think it's kind of the other way around, but neither of them are handling it too poorly. Honestly, this kid is pretty well mannered despite being against the rules. He's still like, no offense, every time he tries to say something for himself. So he clearly is not used to speaking up to authority, but he finds it's just necessary at this point because the man's got to eat some nuggets. But thankfully, she serves them up a great dinner that night of, I think she said, tofu, broccoli, and mung beans, which if you're trying to convert a kid to a vegetarian diet for a week, that is not the way to start it. That is like a level 5 vegan meal, all right? Mung beans, I've never even heard of those. I'm sorry, maybe I'm uncultured, but yeah, you can't tell a kid you're gonna eat mung beans and expect them to handle it properly.
See how it feels. See how you can grow from it.
Her rules to go go in the garbage. Okay, sorry for your language. These rules, they're impossible.
They got bro cussing on the mic right now. They had to censor him real quick. Oh my god, dude, the way they're editing back and forth in this episode so far is fire. Like the juxtaposition of these shots. You got the open-minded spiritual mother like, yeah, I wanted to do this experience because I just wanted to see what new things I could discover about myself and about life. And then it just cuts to the kid like, I just pooped out her rules and they fell on the floor. That's how crappy they are. Her rules suck. I hate her. She's an idiot. Oh my god, I love this kid.
It's just 20 minutes I have to read. It's not a book that you get to choose.
Do you want to go down this road right now?
Okay,
Mister?
I'm sorry.
So now we've reached a new hurdle with this kid. I'm really focusing on him this episode, but that's because it's just so funny, this relationship between him and his new mom. She has him read books because he can't watch TV now, and he's having apparently a really, really hard time with it.
But after 5 minutes, Mike Jr. decides he still doesn't want to read the book Elizabeth bought him, a short novel about the Holocaust.
Dude, the way they edited that, this is the only time I think that the voiceover guy has made me laugh this hard, but I was expecting her to at least let him choose the book or have it be a fantasy book or something. No, I'm pretty sure she has this kid reading The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, which is an important book, obviously. It's an important topic to learn about. But again, if you were trying to get a kid who has only played his Nintendo or his GameCube or whatever it was at the time and watched TV, you don't give him a story like this or like something nonfiction or anything like that. Like, give him something cool, like I said, a Star Wars book, whatever. Maybe Captain Underpants, that was big around this time. Throw the kid a freaking bone here. I'm on his team. He's like, dude, you didn't say in the rules you get to pick my book. Like, I agreed I'd read, but let me at least pick it.
I read 16 minutes already.
Did you? Now read another 20.
Why?
Upstairs, because I said so.
Fine. Can I have my Beyblade?
No, when you come down,
And I
you'll have
think you
it.
owe me.
So then the dad has to lay down the law, but I'm glad to see that he's siding with her. Honestly, I will give props to the entire Stallone parents, both of them, because they have really been following the rules rigidly, and it looks like they care about this experiment of this show going properly, which means sometimes you gotta take some sacrifices and go up and read your book for 20 minutes and time out, all right, kid? Get to it. But anyways, that's enough for both weeks. Honestly, I will say this was the smoothest week. Yes, we still had some tears from some of the kids in this involved that were just really not happy with the rule changes, but this was so smooth, and finally the families are back together to talk it out. Let's see how it goes.
Just living in that way, like I had a very hard time when I came into
No,
the
I know.
house.
You are an expert cleaner, I will tell you.
I had a very hard time living in the conditions that I did.
So shocker to no one, the big thing and like the most toxic thing they bring up is how dirty these people's house were, which they only had a couple B-roll shots of like little wads of hair or things in the corner like dust balls or something. I think they had like an ant infestation, but that can also happen at any point in certain areas. Like literally I will have them twice a year. But she of course makes a big deal about it, and apparently that was something that almost ruined her experience. But the other lady brings it back with some good positive reinforcement. Like, dude, you're an amazing cleaner. I'll give that to you. That's just how we're different. That is one thing I really like about this spiritual family, is they are taking everything in stride. They literally cannot have their energy, you know, adjusted or shifted by anybody, which sounds like a cringy way of putting that, but really they don't allow other people's negativity to bring them down, which is a very difficult task.
It looks like Elizabeth and Paulette are very different, but in the way they are and the type of human beings they are, I think they're very similar people.
I agree with you.
I really do.
Agree.
And then the fathers both agreed, like, dude, you're a good guy. I had fun. It was cool swapping lives and seeing how you guys live. They both basically agree to disagree, which is the most beautiful outcome of this show. And I think what the show is mostly about, that none of the previous families so far that I've at least covered have understood, is that, you know, yes, obviously people are going to be different in how they parent their children and how they run their households, but maybe you can at least appreciate it and see how other people live. And that's what it's all about. So yeah, pretty wholesome episode. Let me know what you thought of this kid down in the comments, dude, because he made me crack up the entire time. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here though, because these usually end up being pretty long videos after all this commentary and me cutting it down. If you're watching all the way through, thank you so much for your support. If you follow me on Patreon or you're one of these patrons, you are an absolute legend. Thank you so much for sharing love over there. And again, simply liking and commenting on the video does wonders for the algorithm. So thank you so much. Let me know if you want to see more of this series on the way. And until next time, peace out.